Okay, good morning. Today is October 8th, 2024. This is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Neves.
Here.
Richard Valley.
Here.
Doug Verboon.
Here.
Rusty Robinson.
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Okay, all five of us are here today, so we're ready to conduct business. Would you all please rise for Pastor Nate Ferrier as he gives our invocation?
Father Nate.
Nate, thank you very much.
Hey, my pleasure. All right, please bow your head and pray with me. Father God, thank you for this beautiful day. We just ask that your hand would be upon this meeting. You would guide and direct all of us as we make decisions here for the county. I ask for a special blessing on the Board of Supervisors and the staff here in the county. And we ask you to protect our first responders as they're out working to protect all of us day in and day out. And Lord God, we just pray for cooler weather to come soon. And Lord, we also ask for your hand to be upon our election season. And we ask that you would guide and direct the voters as they make important decisions this November. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. Please follow me as we salute our nation's flag. Ready? Salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll move on now to unscheduled appearances. Any person may directly address the board at this time on any item on the agenda or any other items of interest to the public. And we'll allow 2 minutes for each item. Do we have any written?
We received a written comment from Laura Gallardo, and that will become part of the record. And our first speaker is Matthew Boyette.
Mr. Boyette, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Matthew Boyette, Deputy County Administrative Officer, Kings County Administration. So I'm here before you this morning and unscheduled to introduce a new staff member that you've probably seen around the office. His name is Michael Amin. Comes to us from a long history in public service, last 8 years, spent a lot of time in Tulare County through various agencies, the Public Defender's Office, the Sheriff's Office, Health and Human Services Agency, and various accounting and analyst roles there. Before the 8 years in public service, he did 8 years in the banking industry throughout Cairo and New York. So that's pretty interesting there. He has an MBA, and then he has a bachelor's in accounting as well. So most recently, he comes to us from the city of Hanford as a staff analyst, I believe was the official, or financial analyst, my apologies. But so we're very excited to have him on and finally round out our team, and feels good to finally have a full complement of staff in the office to do all the good work of the county. So we're very excited to have him on. So I wanted to introduce him to your board and also introduce him to the public as well as the departments. We'll be seeing a lot of each other over the next, several months and hopefully years. So with that, I told him he has a big speech to present. So hopefully he has that ready. So, but anyway, just wanted to introduce him and also thank you for coming on and joining our family. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. You have any comments you'd like to say? I'll give you 5 minutes.
I would like to thank Kyria and Matthew and everyone else for the whole warm welcoming and making the first week is easy. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Welcome to Kings County.
The next speaker is Claire Curtis.
Claire Curtis, step on up.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
It's Casey Hill. I am the Kings County Cooperative Outreach Specialist for 4-H. This is Claire Curtis. Hi. She is one of our county ambassadors for 4-H. We also have Adelaide Sales and Alana Edmondson. We are part of the University of California Ag and Natural Resources Department. We have had a long-standing program in Kings County, and over the past year, we've even experienced a 34.2% increase in enrollments, which is very exciting. We are here to present National 4-H Week, which takes place October 6th through 12th, and we would like it recognized in Kings County, please. Thank you so much for having us here, and we also have our County Director, Karmjot Randawa, in attendance, as well as several other of our 4-H members. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for coming by. 4-H is a big deal for any youth coming up in our area, and especially those that don't have access to, parenting that teach them how to sew, cook, all that kind of good stuff. I know my grandmother was a 4-H leader, and my wife was my mother was 4-H leader. My wife was not, but my grandmother taught sewing. So it's good to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
so
thank you
much.
for all the volunteers.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Matt Sanfilippo and Chief Flores.
Uh-oh, a tag team?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Morning, Matt. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Board, CEO Martinez. We wanted to take a moment and come up and give you guys thanks for, the great opportunity we had last week to go and donate the gear, the expired gear down to Mexico. It was a great opportunity. I've done that multiple times throughout my career, donating equipment and gear to less fortunate countries. But I wanted this moment, I wanted to let Matt kind of explain his experience. This was his first time down there and getting to see a different country and seeing how they work. But Matt.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak. What an eye-opening experience. And I do want to thank the board profusely because what I saw when I got down there was they have a city of 1.2 million people, and every piece of equipment that they have is donated. It was incredible to see. Really want to thank the chief and the assistant chief of the Mexicali Fire Department. They took a lot of time out of their day to kind of drive us around and show us what they do. Not all that much different when you consider they're putting out the same fires and they're doing the same work. But I was just absolutely blown away by how they keep that thing rolling. And it's through donations like the donations that the board approved a couple of weeks ago. Again, very eye-opening. I thanked Chief Flores profusely for the opportunity to go and see it. It really changed some perspectives that I had. And I am just so thankful to have been able to experience it and thankful to have been able to experience Mexicali. It was like I said, very, very, very neat experience.
Well, very good. So how far down did you go?
We just probably only been maybe within 5 miles of the border.
Yeah.
Okay.
At our furthest point.
But 1.2 million people down there?
Well, that's what's registered. We have a suspicion that it's more than that because there's like census. It's it's whatever
Wow.
was captured.
13 stations. The call volume was off the charts, and they don't run medical aids. We did have the opportunity to, as we were there, a fire broke out, and they took us to the fire, and just seeing everybody pile out of donated engines with donated equipment was just incredible to see. And again, they're doing the same job.
Good.
They're out there doing it. And it was just a very, very humbling experience. And yeah, I'll take it with me.
So that team in Mexicali, so that's where we donate all the stuff that we have left over,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah,
That was just the
our-
gear.
and we donate it because it's already past its expiration date here in the States, which are limited amount of time, but it's still good. You can still put it in use down in Mexico, correct?
Yeah, if you look at the majority of studies when it comes to exposure levels, they usually traditionally look at what point does equipment start to fail, and then they'll even reduce that by 50%, and that's usually the threshold that OSHA or in other entities will look at and say this is the recommended replacement. We can no longer use it to prevent any further exposure of our staff members. However, usually the equipment is still in good condition, but it's just not recognized to be in prime condition, and that's why those regulations exist. So cities such as Mexicali, Tijuana, a lot of cities in Mexico who live off of donations, they live off of that equipment because that is what they get to use. He probably got to see some of the staff members putting out fires with only a jacket on, with no pants on and no mask and no BAs on. Things that here are highly
You get written up.
yeah, highly frowned upon, but they're doing the job. They're trying to do whatever they can with whatever they have. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate the report.
Thank you again.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Marie Waite.
Marie, good morning. How are you today?
Great. Good morning, Chairman, Board of Supervisors. Marie Waite, Director of Child Support Services. Kings County Child Support Services is proud to announce our nomination as Best of Kings County for customer service. Serving our community is a true honor, and we are grateful for this recognition. Your vote, as other votes, would mean the world to us. Remember, you can vote once per day until Saturday, October 19th. This is through Hanford Sentinel. And don't miss the opportunity to support all the other nominees that are up for different categories. Thank you.
And thank you.
That is all the speakers we have, and doesn't appear anybody has their hand raised.
Hey, anybody else in the audience have anything they want to add for today's schedule?
Mr. Chair, could I just
sir.
note, I know all the board members got a copy of the letter. I don't know if this lady is from my district or not, but and since it got entered on the record by the clerk, I just want to let you know, I pulled up at least 5 different responses where I tried to help this lady. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not
she
sure.
called you out.
Yeah. Well, I got receipts. So someone sends me an email, they get a response back. So
Very good. Okay, we'll move on now to approval of the minutes, report out of closed session from regular meeting, October 1st, 2024.
There's nothing to report.
Thank you. Item B, approval of the minutes from regular meeting, October 1st, 2024. Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Neves. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley, Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. We'll move on now to the consent calendar. All items on a consent calendar are listed as one motion, or any item can be pulled by any individual supervisor.
So move it, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. We'll move on now to the regular calendar, and we have administration. We have Kyria Martinez. And she is going to introduce, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. Waste Management, Bob Henry. Morning, Bob. How you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great. Thank you. Report period covers from July 16th through October 7th. I have, get comfortable, everybody. Got a few things to report today. July 16th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District was at KHF. This was for the initial flare, MSW flare source test. You guys remember we installed an ultra low NOx flare earlier this year. So this is on July 16th is when they came out to do the testing for the emissions coming out of that flare. Okay. During the event, no violations, no issues were identified. So operating fine. August 7th, Certified Unified Program Agency, you may know it by CUPA, follow to inspection on July 26th. KHF did receive 1 violation regarding the hazardous material business plan for failure to electronically submit a complete and accurate hazardous material inventory of all materials. Sounds terrible. KHF had submitted the required information under the old program. We corrected the issue while they were there. So the information had been entered into the system, but under the old. August 14th, Central Valley Regional Water Quality Control Board at KHF, semi-annual facility-wide inspection, including landfill unit B17, phase C1, which is our MSW landfill, our next landfill cell. And during that, there were no violations for going around the site doing the inspection, and no issues were identified regarding the construction of landfill B17, phase C1. August 20th, US EPA Region 9 follow-up questions to inspection from June 11th through the 13th. I reported that last time that they had came out, we had 7 people come out and do an inspection of the site, 1 from Region 8, 2 from Region 4 from Region 9, and then 2 from DTSC. So this was KHF received US EPA's request for additional information regarding labeling of containers in storage greater than 1 year, i.e. this is your incineration waste that you can't get rid of. Inspection records and training records. One of the things here is we're keeping King's Waste out of trouble with that because we're taking those incinerables to our facility and working them off as well. So we received notice for additional information. August 21st, Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, monthly unannounced facility inspection. This is where they come in and look at B17, the MSW, B18, the hazardous landfill. During their inspection, no violations, no area of concern. August 30, landfill unit B17 phase C1 construction was complete. So ready to go on August 30th. September 10th, DTSC and Kings County Environmental Health Services at KHF, unannounced facility focused inspection. DTSC will usually come out at least 3, if not 4 times a year. They'll do either comprehensive or focused inspection of the facility, either site-wide or they'll focus in on certain areas. This particular time, they invited Kings County to come along, which they did. The facility received 1 minor violation where the facility failed to note on the daily inspection checklist. So we have a checklist for all the things we need to go by and look at, and that goes into our operating record. We did not have a box for the inspection of the waste processing tanks for corrosion. So we have 4 mixing tanks or a treatment unit. We'll go by, we'll inspect to make sure there's no corrosion, anything that would hamper the stability or the structural integrity of those uh, tanks. What we have at the FSU, we have 1-inch steel thick tanks. We put the waste in and we mix the material with reagents, cement, other things, and then we'll analyze it. Then we'll put it in the landfill. We do that daily. We go by and look at. Pardon me.
You mix cement in the tank?
You'll mix
Correct.
the waste, and then we'll have a recipe that we follow to. Let me back up. You have
Get it in a solid form.
solid, but you want to chemically fixate the metals. So has landfill, think of inorganics, incinerators, fuels blending, think of inorganics. So we're mainly dealing with heavy metals out there. This is material that goes through the building. You'll have the waste put in the mixing tank. Typically, it might be cement, it may be ferrous sulfate, other reagents that we'll use that we'll mix up, and then we'll put it in a roll-off container, store it. While it's in storage, we've taken a sample. If it passes, then we can pick that roll-off box up and take it to the landfill and dispose of it. So every day we're using these tanks. These tanks were, we had the original tank, then we have a insert that was placed in these in 2014. So I only have about an 8-year-old tank. They're in great shape. But we didn't have a checkbox, so that's why I got the violation. We do have checklist has been updated since this, it was updated like the next day, so we took care of it. So September 13th, self-disclosure to US EPA for a toxic released inventory error. We have to, every year, we have to do TRI reporting. Basically, it's the chemicals that go into the landfill quantities and things like that. Cage discovered inadvertent error in a computer database query, which resulted in chemical not being reported correctly under required grouping. So sometimes you'll put a chemical by itself, sometimes you'll put them in a group. It just depends on how you're told to do it. Our computer database was supposed to do the grouping for us. It failed to include one particular item. That impacted 21 through 23. So reporting year 21, 22, and 23. Facility third-party consultant is working on the correction. Constituent that we're looking at is chrysene, which is a naturally occurring in coal tar. So that was the one that we had it as an individual versus in a group. So we did a self-report and we're updating those reporting years. September 16th, responding to US EPA for additional information from their inspection on September 11 through 13. Labeling containers at the drum storage unit and bulk storage unit. So we have containers, be it 55-gallon drums, 20 cubic yard roll-off containers, 2 different locations. Drums at the drum storage unit, bulk storage unit would be where the roll-offs are stored. What they were looking for, this includes waste codes and waste characteristics, which in California is required under the generator improvement rule, which was effective July 1st. They came out back in June. So what ended up happening is they were there in June. They noted something after they had left that the rule hadn't changed till July 1st. So we've made the change. We've updated all the labels. We have labels on the containers out there. We usually go by a profile, which has more detailed information. So when you generate hazardous waste, you have to fill out a profile and you have California Certified Lab Analytical with it. So you would have that documentation. I do everything from emergency response, tracking the waste, processing waste based on this profile number. What they're doing with the new rule is they want to know if it's toxic, which on a hazardous waste label, you'll have 4 things you can choose from, toxic being the most common for us. And then on that label, you will also have waste codes, K codes, U codes, P codes, F codes. D codes are the most common. D codes means when you look at a federal D code, D4 through 11, what it'll be is it'll say it's hazardous. Let's say D008, it'll be hazardous for lead. They want that on there. So the label itself, so it would say it's let's say it's a treat load at the FS or treatment unit. It would have toxics and it would have a D008. Plus I would have I put a placard on it to carry all the information for the profile and manifest and things like that. Going forward, we'll have it pre-printed on our placards at our treatment unit, And then we'll have a different barcode label that we use to track the materials through our drum storage unit. That barcode label would have the characteristic and waste codes on there. The other thing that we had to turn in is they wanted to know when we provided notification for waste in storage greater than 1 year, i.e. the incineration waste. We had submitted the letter on August 3rd for waste that were going over 1 year, so 2021. So in 2021, we gave notice that we would be going over a year. That's when the incineration problem occurred. First started occurring. That's when I stopped taking incineration waste other than King's Waste, other than what we generate ourselves. So I cut it all back because if I didn't have an outlet, I wasn't going to accept. September 17th, KHF began operations at landfill unit B17, phase C1. Excuse me. That would be the MSW landfill. September 18th, Kings County Department of Environmental Health Services back out at KHF. But this time it was for the underground fuel storage tank inspection. No violations, no issues identified. September 27th, Kings County Environmental Health Services back out. Monthly unannounced facility inspection. No violations, no area of concern. September 30th, San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. End of variance summary submitted for the ultra low NOx flare. If you recall, last year I talked about how they hadn't processed our permit. The air district had not processed it timely. So we were given a variance to construct the new landfill, the ultra low NOx flare. We were given so many months to do so. We presented the schedule to the air district. They approved it. We beat the schedule by about a month or so, a month and a half. So anyway, we got that ultra low NOx flare up and running, and that's when the variance ended. I do have to variance fee. I still have a variance fee I need to remit, but other than that, it's over. So we got the flare up and running through the variance period. So it was good. October 4th, responding to US EPA request for additional information from their inspection, 11 through 13. Explanation for containers and storage at the drum storage unit and bulk storage unit reaching 1 year. So this hasn't gone over a year, but they were coming up to it. We also had to provide inspection records and training records. When I say inspection records, so several months. Also on October 4th, busy day. Got a couple more. DTSC Class 1 permit modification. Notification to update the contingency plan was submitted. We added emergency coordinator alternate Philip Spencer, who is our new operations manager. He's been with me since the beginning of the year. He has several years of experience with the company. And then before that, he's retired Army. So we also had to update contact information, phone numbers. October 4th, MSW landfill B17, the MSW. We had a small fire, and what was the MSW waste load that the MSW solid waste load we received was containing a lithium ion battery caught fire. So if you hit a lithium battery, you're going to pop it and you're going to have a small fire. Now, luckily, our operator was right there. He extinguished the fire with this 20-pound fire extinguisher that he keeps on the piece of heavy equipment. For you guys, whenever possible, please stress to the general public the need to remove and properly dispose of these types of batteries. If they get through the system, be it Waste Management or King's Waste or wherever they're coming from, they will cause a fire if we pop them. Okay.
And
How
you
you
can
get
drop
rid-
those off at your local Home Depot.
You can also go to the MSW, King's Waste and Recycling, household hazardous waste. So any place that if we can keep them out of the waste stream, it's appreciated. It's an unexpected little run and jump.
Yep.
So, let's see. October 7th, US EPA TSCA approval. TSCA is your PCB. So we have a DTSC permit and we have a TSCA permit. DTSC permits handles RCRA, non-RCRA, things like that. That's DTSC. EPA handles your TSCA, which is your PCBs. We had to update their permit. Added emergency coordinator also updated contact information for phone numbers. And then we also added the relocation of emergency alarm station for landfill unit B17 due to construction of phase C. So what we do is for the emergency alarm stations, landfill unit B17 is an MSW landfill, therefore it's not regulated with DTSC. EPA, it's included in their authorization. So what we need to do is we locate it from one entrance point to the other entrance point. So as soon as you come out of the landfill, you would have the emergency alarm station located. Once it's activated, you have telemetry back to the guardhouse. I'm notified. Emergency coordinators are notified. You also have a siren that goes off. You also have a light that goes off. You also have a handheld radio available if it's, let's say, a driver or somebody like that. So that one would be getting relocated. All right. Future activities, October 24th, Kings County Public Safety Event. Event is at the Kettleman City Park from 5 to 7. We'll be an event sponsor and we'll participate with an information booth, just like always.
Is that this week?
24th.
24th. We have cooks.
We're gonna burn it. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, we'll have Cajun style. I'm not sure we'll cook. Cook is the right word.
Okay.
We'll attempt. Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
When
Sometimes
Lisa-
it's Cajun style.
Oh, Cajun style. All right. October 26th, Kettleman City Fall Festival. This is something that will be the first annual event is at the community center from 4 to 7. KHF again is a sponsor and we'll participate with a fun setup. I said instead of a information booth, but it'll be fun. Ongoing MSW landfill B19 closure is complete. Certification report to be submitted to the Water Board, Kings County Environmental Health and Cal Recycle in November. MSW landfill B17 phase C1 construction is complete. Like certification report to be submitted to the Water Board, Kings County and Cal Recycle in November as well. So you have the closure of B19. B19 was the first MSW landfill for the facility. We opened it in 98 and it began taking King's Waste material. That one is subsequently was turned into an anaerobic bioreactor from 2008 through 2014. And now we went through closure on it this past year. So that unit's done. B17, the one we're in, we opened in 2006 and we continue to operate it. With phase C left to construct is phase C2 and phase C3. When we're done, we'll get about another probably 13 million yards. So it's going to be good for 40 years. I'm retired.
That'll be 20 years to fill that one up.
The Has landfill we're working in we opened it in 89, 90, and we'll probably have another 10 there. So about 40 years.
35, yeah, 35, 40.
So the B6,
17.
B17, so 20 years,
More.
more than 20 years. Okay.
It's probably closer to like 30 right now.
30,
Wow.
35.
Yep. So you have capacity for the county. Permitting, where we're at right now, DTSC Part B permit renewal. This is your 10-year operating permit you have to run the facility. And then if I wanted to add a landfill or new process, I'd have to go through a permitting process, a Class 3 permit mod. Right now, we're just looking at our 10-year operating permit to continue to do things we do. I'll just jump down. Public hearing was held May 15th. Was extended. Comment period was extended to July 2nd. Most of the comments that were received, there was very few comments received by DTSC. Ours was the lengthiest at about 60 pages, but that was mainly for clarification. The rest were very few and very minimal. DTSC to respond to public comment, it's our understanding it's going to either be in the fourth quarter or first quarter of next year, and then they'll make a final permit decision when they'll respond to comments. They'll issue their final permit decision, and then it can go up for appeal for 30 days. During that 30 days, I have to operate under the old permit. During the 30 days, if someone appeals, then it would go to the appeals group at DTSC. I'm assuming an appeal and probably get our full permit maybe third quarter next year. What I'm kind of earmarking. So that was it.
Okay, I have a question. So Bob, you just mentioned that you may be retiring here in a few years once the landfill's full. Do you have succession planning where you got someone lined up to take your spot?
We have two folks that are doing really well. I have an environmental manager, Raina Verdeen, local young lady who's from the county.
Okay.
UCLA grad. I won't hold it against her, but anyways, no, she's doing outstanding.
Good.
And then the young man that we just brought in, he is the district manager / operations manager for the facility. Philip Spencer is his name. He's doing really well. We'll have to see how it works out. I'm probably on a 2-year path or less.
Good deal. Well, thank you.
One of the
Any comments from the board? White Valley.
Quick one, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Bob, thank you. And thank you to Waste Management as we go into Operation Gobble again this year. You guys are one of the longest sponsors, and you've been on the team for about 20 years. We appreciate you. You guys are always the first ones to send some support so we can buy them turkeys, get those turkeys early. And then for anyone who don't know, when we're in Avenel Tuesday morning, that Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, Bob and his team at Waste Management, they're out there and they're doing Operation Gobble in Kettleman City and getting those turkeys to the community so they don't have to wait until Tuesday afternoon. And it's already, less than 48 hours for that turkey to be in the oven. So appreciate you helping us get those. And I know that's a lot of work, and there's some fine folks in Kettleman City that help you as well, but appreciate you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
I brought it up at my last managers meeting, and I have a few more people wanting to help. So it's going to turn out well, I do believe.
I think this is going to be the biggest one yet.
It's good. Get turkeys at a low price, so we make them go a little further. Good luck. All
There's a
right.
couple abandoned chicken sheds out here. You can raise your own turkey.
That would be an
Well,
experience.
well, hang on. We got the 4-H kids here. That might be
Yeah,
something.
that would be an experience.
I mean, I'm sitting here watching the 4-H kids here, and they survived your presentation. They were full attentiveness right there.
Yeah.
Young lady,
One little
would you
girl
a-
was
would
like,
you like
"Oh,
a tour?"
my
And I had most of the heads stay up today. I
Yeah.
was liking that. So.
Most of them, huh?
Oh, somebody's checking their phone.
So, did
I'm
we-
taking notes.
would you guys like to accept Mr. Henry's presentation today?
Yes, sir.
Moved by Supervisor Valley, second by Supervisor Neves. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Now for the big one. So at this time, the Agricultural Cooperative Extension, Casey Hill, coming up to do a adoption declaring October 6th to 12th National 4-H Week in Kings County. We should be presenting a prize to the kids that sat here the whole time.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. Today, before you have a resolution to recognize National 4-H Week, which is this week, October 6th through 12th, in Kings County. We have a current enrollment of around 356 active youth in our program. We have a community club program, which we focus on STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and math. We also focus on healthy living and civic engagement, which I'm so excited to have these kids engage today. We also are, like I mentioned earlier, part of the UC Cooperative Extension Office. And today I have with us our county ambassadors, which are our teen outstanding representatives of our program. We have Alana Edmondson, Adelaide Sells, and Claire Curtis. We also have Karmjot Randawa, our county director.
Good morning.
Morning, board. I really want to make sure that I do less of the speaking since I speak with you and see you frequently, because this is a civic engagement experience for our young generation here on how we participate in our local government. We just want to thank you all for the support that you've given Cooperative Extension as well as 4-H over the years, specifically during the pandemic when a lot of things moved to remote and online teaching. Our 4-H programs have really become very innovative in making sure that we have engagement no matter what the social circumstances are. And I want to speak really towards our 4-H ambassadors and our 4-H students who really during the pandemic were the ones the first ones making masks for our hospitals at Kauai Delta so that they didn't have to wait for the state government to send them anything. We were sewing our own cloth masks and providing them to our first responders, our fire departments, our police stations, and our hospitals. And so that's just one example of the great work that they do. And I've seen so many of them not only move on to bigger opportunities, but a lot of them actually stay within our community and support and become the next set of leaders that we have. So we just want to thank you, and having this recognition means a lot to us, not only at the local level, but at the state and national level, because we really want to make sure that the state understands the commitment that this board has given to 4-H throughout the years. So thank you.
No, very good.
I'm going to pass it on to the kids because this is more for them.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Alana Edmondson. I'm one of 4-H Kings County 4-H ambassadors. I'm a part of Grangeville 4-H, and I'm in plenty of different projects. But yeah,
Well, Grangeville 4-H is the best.
it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Thank you.
Hello.
My
How are
name
you?
is Adelaide Sales, and I am also in Grangeville 4-H, and I am also one of the county ambassadors. I participate in a lot of projects in 4-H, but my favorite one is sheep.
Oh, very good. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Claire Curtis, and a project that I am in 4-H, I'm also an ambassador, is arts and crafts. Is probably one of my favorites because we get to make a ton of fun stuff.
Thank you.
So we really appreciate your consideration today. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from the board?
We would just like to invite everyone to come to the front so we can take a picture.
That would be great. Thank you.
And I got something for all the kids in the audience that are put up with Bob Henry's presentation.
Yeah. All right, all the good stuff, huh? Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, take the glasses. Hey, you bet. Thank you. Oh. I stay out of trouble. No, it's fine.
Yes, very sweet. You were really a fan.
Yeah, bring the kids up.
Get over here. Pictures.
Man, you guys are lucky. When I was a kid, I wanted a cookie. I don't want a pen. Ah. You got a white shirt on, that's good. All right, good job. Next year.
Are you selling your sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah, send him a letter.
If you could raise turkeys and sell them at least $1.25 a pound, I'll buy 1,000 of them. Let's do some business.
Okay, are any comments from the board?
So move it, Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
5 in favor. So one comment I'd have for the 4-H is, that, my grandmother passed away 10 years ago. She'd be 107 right now. I still run into people that my grandma taught how to sew, and that is really cool. My mom made all my own clothes. My grandma made my grandfather's clothes, my clothes. So it's a good talent to learn. You never know when you're going to need it. And I know Claire has made me I think an apron or something one time I bought. So it's very cool. Keep up the good work and don't be afraid to try new things. So thank you. Okay, we're going to go out to board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Robinson, you want to start?
Sure. Okay, let's see. Last Thursday, Supervisor Verboen and I met with Lupe Villa from elections and a group called Patriot Force, basically just discussing the elections process and the voter roll. Friday, I attended the grand jury meeting, and Saturday, my
talk about there.
Yeah, that's top secret. We can't talk about that stuff. And Saturday, my kid scored a touchdown, but we still lost. So I'm a proud dad, even when we lose. Also, pole lights went up in Armona, so I'm pretty happy about that. We spent the last several months working on that. Specifically, I want to thank Kelly Granger and Armona Community Service District for that. That was a big coup for them. And John King from SoCal Edison, big help to get that going. I'm told 120 pole lights. When I drove through the other night, I think there's still a few that have to be done, but it looks like the lion's share is complete. So thanks to Armona Community Service District and John King.
Does the light make it down to the street?
The lights are LED, and the ones on the main street, which would be 14th Avenue, are going to be a little bit brighter. And I think those are the ones that still have to be done. They're probably still waiting on those. I have to check in with John. The other ones, because it's a real trick, you want more light because that gives you safety and security. On the other hand, you don't want light pollution, right? So that's the delicate balance. And I think they've struck it. I think the lights are better than the last ones that we had. But Armona could use a few extra pole lights. I mean, it's still a little bit dark in Armona, but it's better than one.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Supervisor Valley.
Was that CBD grant funds that we did, or who funded?
No, what that was is a cooperation with Southern California Edison. And so basically they'll do it, and then over the course of several years, so there's a net savings because these are LED lights. And then after that kind of bill is repaid, it repays itself. Then the community service district gets the savings.
Thank you.
Supervisor Valley, you good? Supervisor Fagundes, how you doing?
You're asking.
The countdown is coming.
After
We're
the
down
meeting's
to-
almost over.
Yeah.
No, the only thing I had this week, we had a fundraiser at the MIQ school, served a little over 400 people. It's to raise money for the school there, and turned out good. Had about 100 more takeouts than we've had before. It turned out good.
Very good. Thank you for that. Supervisor Neves.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last Tuesday, the first five of Kings County held its October meeting. The commission updated its policy manual, the Children and Youth Health Initiative, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library were all discussed and approved. The Help Me regional partnership with the Children's Hospital of Central California, which includes Madera, Merced, Fresno, and Kings counties, was reviewed and discussed, and authorized the executive director to negotiate a contract for services. And then the commission also received updates on staffing positions and strategic planning. The spotlight on service was focused on the Recreational Association of Corcoran and the Kings County Community Action Center that's in Kettleman City. On Wednesday, the windshield tour of Stratford for the Kings County Health Equity Advisory Panel. We took 45 minutes or so to go ahead and tour town and talk about some of the access to care, access to emergency services, and some of the other things that Health Equity is concerned about in rural communities. Went to Visalia, donated blood for the 131st time. So I got 131 times.
How many gallons?
16 gallons.
Wow.
So and I did all the math, and I'm still overweight. So you think over 35 years and losing that much weight, but I seem to overcompensate more than I undercompensate. So, but that's a personal best for me, and we'll just keep going see as far as we can go. Met with John Devlin and the West Hills College representatives on the Rumacon project to improve broadband in the West Hills College District, which includes Fireball, Lemoore, and Kalinga, trying to get a little bit better service.
The partnership with Fresno State, undergraduate programs in criminology and psychology will need a little bit more bandwidth, a little more speed to get the students and the professors all on the same page. So hopefully we'll keep going and trying to get that broadband improved in both Fresno and Kings counties. Continue to announce football at Lemoore High. Tulare Union wrapped up the 2024 season already. The remaining games on the schedule are all on the road. And for me, it's 35 years. Staying 15 years on the field as a member of the chain gang and 20 years in the booth. And to be honest with you, I liked it better on the field, but we'll keep moving.
So you gave a half gallon of blood for every year you were announcer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all about the same time. Also announced volleyball for Lemoore College against the COS Giants. It went 5 sets, needed for the Golden Eagles to win that match. So it was a fun time, first time they've ever been able to defeat the COS, who has a very good squad this year. Also attended the holiday boutique at the Fraternal Hall. My wife always spends too much money there, but she did all right. Attended the Working Man Store patio sale. A lot of stuff there on sale, as unfortunately the Working Man Store is going to be shutting down. And then the MIQ Fall Festival. Besides the chicken dinner, they had a lot of sweets that I don't need that we picked up anyway. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you. I know last week I went to High Speed Rail in Selma, spent about 3 hours there. Talked to them about the closure of Houston Avenue, and I got them to come. They're going to come here next Tuesday and do a presentation on what the community can expect and what to look forward to. I told them I really like to see them out of my county, but they understand. So I think it worked out well. Good meeting, good people. It's just a shame that the project is drawn out this far. So, but they're willing to work with us. So appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and move on now to board correspondence. Kyria.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the board received on October 4th the Kings County Operational Area Report from the Fire Department for the week of September 30th. For upcoming events, Behavioral Health will host its Veteran Support Group tonight from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Veterans Memorial Hall here in Hanford. Kings County Library will host its movie time at the Kettleman Branch Library tomorrow, Wednesday, October 9th from 3 to 4:30. The Kings County Economic Development Corporation will host its 2024 State of the County event this Thursday at 11:30 at the Tachi Palace. Behavioral Health will host its Family Member Support Group today from 5:30 to 7:30 here at the Kings Building. Kings County Fire Department will also host the Public Safety event at Kettleman on Thursday, October 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. For upcoming agenda items, the following agenda items are for October 15th. Administration has 3, a managed care consulting agreement, CSAC board director's nomination, a study session on the change of the area code 559 to 357. Fire
got used to 559.
They're running out of numbers. So we're bringing a study session on that. Fire has an item regarding the work site wellness services. Human Resources has 2 items, the county service award presentation and a side letter agreement between the county and the Prosecutors Association. Health has 3 items, some security services agreement, some approval agreements for some construction services, and the public health also has a memorandum of understanding coming to your board. Probation has 1 item regarding a counseling psychotherapy center agreement, and Public Works has 2 items. One will be a high-speed rail presentation. Another one will be a JUA agreement from a previous board meeting. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move into closed session as outlined, and we'll adjourn until October 15th, 2024. But we will be at the Palace on Thursday at 11:30 for our State of the County. Thank you very much.